apartment. And they're sitting in Jay's car talking, and suddenly, boom, two masked goons get in the back seat. And Jay starts driving. Like they're trying to kidnap Amjad over an Instagram troll account. So at some point, the car slows down enough to make a right turn. And Amjad's like, yeah, f*** all this. And bam, he jumps out of the car and he starts running. And Jay and the goons, they get out and they start chasing him. Then Amjad sees an alleyway and he runs down it, but like, oh damn, it's a dead end. And so he sees a staircase up the side of a building. And so he runs straight up it. But again, he's at another dead end because he's now standing on a balcony. But the two goons are still closing in on him, and so he jumps down 2 stories. And kaboom, he hits the ground and he sprains his ankle. So he can't run anymore. And of course, the goons catch up to him and they beat the shit out of him and they force him into the back of the car and they speed away. Then they drive him somewhere and they put him in some basement and they strip all of his clothes off of him, so now he's completely naked. And one of the goons has a machete and he's like threatening Amjad with it, and they're like telling him to access the Instagram page and delete it. And naked Amjad is like, I don't have access to the account, it's not my account. Anyway, they beat him up some more and they don't get anything out of him, so eventually they let him go. And of course, he goes right to the police and reports what happened. And 2 days later, bam, police arrest Jay. Here's his mugshot. And so now he's charged with the kidnapping and the assault, but while he's there in jail, they go ahead and they charge him for all those other scams he was pulling. But then, in a weird twist, Jay's wife, because I guess Jay is married, she offers Amjad $200,000 to change his story and tell police that Jay didn't actually kidnap him. And the craziest part is Amjad, he says aye, and he takes the bribe, and he agrees to change his story about the kidnapping. And so then, bam, police arrest Jay's wife for offering a bribe, and they arrest Amjad for taking the bribe. Here's his mugshot, and here's Jay's wife's mugshot. And I couldn't actually find any more information on their convictions. However, Jay actually does get convicted, and he takes a plea deal, and he gets 7 years in prison. That is crazy. Do you remember Fyre Festival? What really went wrong with that? And is there really gonna be a Fyre Festival 2? Now this story all starts with this guy, Billy. And Billy's around 23 years old during this time, and he's an entrepreneur whose credit card business is failing. So one day in 2016, he comes up with a new business idea. He's gonna start a company to build an app that lets people book celebrities and famous musicians for events. And to help him out with this idea, for some reason, he partners with known rapper Ja Rule.
One of the problems that we're really tackling is the nasty business of booking.
And so Billy and Ja Rule get this insane idea to promote their app and attract investors into their company. They decide to put on a big music festival on a small island, and they're gonna call it Fyre Festival. And of course, they've never put on a music fest before, much less one of this size, but whatever, they're gonna go for it. And so Billy and Ja Rule get to work. They fly all the way over to the Bahamas to scout locations for this festival. Here's actually a picture of the two of them in the Bahamas. And Billy specifically